Welcome to Hobby Clubhouse with a review of the Bandai high-grade After Colony 1144 Gundam Sandrock Custom. This kit is the first time the TV version of the Sandrock Custom has ever been released as a model, but really, when I was small, I didn't even notice there was a Sandrock Custom at all, and this was more of an afterthought from the show producers, probably because Bandai didn't plan an actual Sandrock replacement, so the TV show producers just made up something and called it an upgrade. This kit actually has the entire retail Gundam Sandrock inside, so this review will cover both versions in one go, though as we'll soon see, that's still basically just one review video. This kit is a P-Bandai exclusive, and it was sent out in Japan in January 2021. It was sold for a price of 1,650 yen, and the box measures 30 by 19 by 6.5 centimeters, so it's thoroughly a standard HG box, and the same size as the retail kit. The entire package is the basic P-Bandai fare, so there's no custom illustration, nor any studio shots. It's a monotone print, and that's all you get. Inside the box, you get the Gundam Sandrock spread across 8 runners, with one of them being for the polycaps. The new parts for the Sandrock Custom are all appended onto the existing runners, so the total number of runners is exactly the same as the retail version. There is a sheet of foil stickers, with one sticker for the eyes, this long, narrow green one for the head camera. This tiny circle one is for the front of the chest. And then this other green one is for the targeting sensor on the new beam machine gun. These gray ones here are for the details on the gray sections of the shoulders, with one for the front and the back of each side. Then there are these two for the eyes of the snake on the shield. Lastly, there are these 3 vent detail stickers for the 2 side skirts, and then one on a new vent added to the back skirt. The instructions are all in black and white and contain nothing other than assembly instructions. And moving briskly along, the completed kit took just a little over an hour, and here we're looking at the standard Gundam Sandrock. The new HG iteration of the MS has some tall shoulders that match the equally aggressive mohawk on the new head, which is shrunken down to give the body more bulk. The Sandrock was always a bit of a niche design, and whether you like the design itself or not, the kit is handsomely proportioned, and it's really hard not to like it when you have it in your hands. The colors deserve extra praise as well, with nearly all the colors represented in plastic. The front skirts here are 3 pieces combined, with the yellow backing, and the gray section here, and then this black piece topping them off. Right next to that, we can see the red piece that uses the black plastic with the vents inside of it. The side skirts have the white hood of the vent here done in plastic as well, which no one would have been shocked if they just left it in black. Even the eyes here, which are a little bit hard to see, are done separately as a green piece, and this is the only green piece in the entire kit, so they went out of their way to give us the eyes in colored plastic. And of the few pieces that rely on stickers like the snake's eyes on the shield or the green gem on the chest, they're all very easy to finish off with the Gundam markers, so this is an excellent kit that's very friendly to fans who might want to experiment with detailing for the very first time. And the Sandrock's signature weapons, the heat show tells, have their blades molded in a lighter gray to color separate them from the darker handles. They come with clear red blades, which you can swap into the handles easily to have the blades in the heated mode. They're big and they're long, and they give the already striking proportions an even more aggressive silhouette with the blades pointing outwards. They're key to the character of the MS, and they're really well done on this kit. The show tells can be stored on the backpack by simply slotting them into the holes right here. In this configuration, the blades actually get in the way of the legs a little bit if you're going to pose it, but you can adjust the angles of the show tells a bit, though this is really a byproduct of something else we're going to look at next. Because in this mounted form, you can take off the entire backpack, which connects using this skinny little slit, and yes, that does make the backpack a little bit loose. And you can take the entire assembly and then place it in between the shield and the forearms to make the cross crusher. Now, I've always been a little cynical about this even when I was small. It felt like Bandai was trying to make up an extra gimmick with the kit without actually giving us anything more. I mean, it's still here, and the angle adjustment, as mentioned before, is actually so that you can clamp the blades together here for a deadly squeeze. And that's a nice segue into the Sandrock shield, which you may have already noticed is really beautifully color separated. There is a tiny bit of hollow spaces along the side of the inside of the shield, but they look sensible enough that you can imagine them just as a part of the shield's construction. The connecting piece here can be rotated so you can adjust the angle of the shield on the forearm. The shield can also be stored on the backpack if you want. And that covers all the important parts of the base Gundam Sandrock. So let's convert it into the custom by first taking off these panels inside the shoulder armor. And then we'll replace them with these extra vents. Next, we'll need to pop out the back section of the back skirt and replace it with this new one that has more of these vents that are on the side skirts. Next, we'll need to disassemble the backpack so that we can take out these two parts here that hold the show tails, and also this part with the connecting slit, and then also we're going to take these two thruster bells. Then it's a matter of putting them into the new backpack, which is built in exactly the same way. In fact, side by side, you can tell the old backpack suggests where these new thrusters are attached. This new backpack does close off the attachment for the shield, so you can no longer use the cross crusher. Lastly, we'll need to have it hold onto the new beam machine gun using the newly included trigger hands, and now we have the Gundam Sandrock Custom. To be honest, the differences here are so minuscule they can easily be dismissed as a change in art style or a different artist drawing the Sandrock, and I'll hold to my belief that this custom really just was a consolation prize for the Sandrock, which really wasn't popular enough to get a later stage replacement mobile suit. But if you have the choice, this is clearly the better kit to get over the retail one, since even if you don't recognize the custom as a totally separate thing like me, you can still pick or choose some small details for a look you prefer. And I think the beam machine gun is certainly a really nice part of the package, being small and compact and fitting the role as an assistant to the Sandrock's close-range fighting design. But elephant in the room, the gun isn't even actually an upgrade for the Sandrock Custom. The old 144 Gundam Sandrock kit from 1995 actually included this gun, so it's the base HG kit that was actually inadequate for not having this to begin with. That aside, there is a folding stock that you can swing out, which looks very handsome. The magazine on the handle is molded in and it doesn't come off. I think this is the weapon that makes a Sandrock a much more reasonable MS that doesn't have to rely solely on the show tails. It's a little odd that there's nowhere to store the gun, so the Sandrock can only use one of the show tails if it has to always hold the gun, but that's really a problem most Gundam kits have. And since we've just mentioned hands a little earlier, you get a total of 4 pairs here, with the regular gripping hands, and a pair of tilted gripping hands with the show tails, and then a pair of open palms, and then the trigger hands, which as mentioned before are new to the Sandrock Custom. They come on the Gundam Frame Runner, so they'll work with all the other lead Gundam Wing Gundams. Onto the articulation. Starting from the top, the head can look way up, and then not nearly as much downwards. And it doesn't really turn a full circle unless you angle the head upwards, which looks a little bit odd. The shoulder polycap swings upwards rather than forward, and the arm of course can swing a full circle without any issues. The arms swing outwards 90 degrees, and the biceps allow the arms to rotate a full circle. The elbow is double jointed and allows for a close to 180 degree bend. The hands are on a ball joint, so you can adjust the angle freely or rotate the hand a full circle. Because this uses the Gundam frame joints common to the newer Gundam Wing kits, the entire waist can swivel upwards to work with the upper torso to give a very big bend forward. Just like the heavy arms we looked at before, there is no backwards bend. The waist rotates around a full circle without any issues. The front skirts can be separated like they are here, and they swing upwards past 90 degrees. The side skirts flip upwards a little bit. Then, the back skirt can swing up close to 90 degrees and even more if you use the base backpack. The legs swing outwards this much until it's stopped by the side skirt. The entire leg joint here can swing forward and backwards like this, though the legs do have to swing together and they can't do this separately. They can rotate along the thigh a good bit, and they can kick forward past 90 degrees. And backwards nearly 90 degrees thanks to the movable back skirt. The knees are double jointed, so you're gonna get a really nice bend, limited only by the bulky lower legs. The ankle armor can be angled upwards a little bit, and that helps the feet swing up this much. And then backwards this much. The feet do turn side to side a good bit even with the huge ankle armor. And finally, the toes do swivel on an axis, which is unexpected. With a melee-focused mobile suit like the Sandrock, the articulation really needs to be as flexible as it is. This kit doesn't fall apart, and it will do all the poses you want out of it, so there's really no complaint on this front. And before we wrap up, here is a Sandrock next to a Leo. And then here it is with the other lead Gundams released so far, and I'm sure a lot of people are looking forward to a complete lineup. With all that said, here's a Hobby Clubhouse 3-point verdict for the Bandai high-grade After Colony 1144 Gundam Sandrock Custom. Number 1. It's superior to the retail kit. The retail Gundam Sandrock is already an excellent kit with the clear blades and the excellent color separation and the wonderfully modern proportions. Now this kit basically takes all of that and adds upgrade options that super fans of Gundam Wing will really want to have. The additions alone aren't all that spectacular, and the new kit is good because the original kit is good, but still, this is the version to get if it is at all a choice for you. Number 2. Mom, they're not the same! This is a phrase jokingly used by Japanese Gundam fans for the dozens of Zakus and the minor variants of mobile suits that we end up having as fans, and this is among the worst of those examples, and you're gonna feel dumb trying to explain to people why you have 2 Gundam Sandrock kits. And I don't really think anyone should get this kit if they already have the original Sandrock, because there's absolutely not enough to justify an additional purchase. Number 3. This may be a little bit controversial, but it is suitable for P-Bandai. Now I know this is going to be an unpopular view, but this kit is the sort of thing that makes sense on P-Bandai. It's a minor variant of an existing kit that doesn't really warrant a separate retail release, and there's so little added that they can't even sell this extra stuff as a separate add-on kit. Sure, many people have no access to P-Bandai and they're left to turn to importers and scalpers, but at least for something like this, it's not that much of a pain to miss out on. Sure, the new gun is really good, but I wouldn't lose any sleep if I didn't have it. You know, that or Bandai should have just released this kit as a retail one to begin with, but you know, Bandai's gonna do Bandai things. So that's a review of the HGAC Gundam Sandrock Custom. A great kit that was already great, so it didn't have to try very hard in the end. Thank you so much for watching. Come look us up on social media with updates and previews on upcoming videos and projects. Links are in the description below. Or check out one of these other videos like the Gundam Heavy Arms or the other Gundam Wing kits that I've reviewed. But before you go, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to be notified of new videos from Hobby Clubhouse, and I'll see you next time.